Greetings, Masandawana. It's finally here, man. You've been asking about it. You've been sending tweets inquiring when is it dropping, and yeah, it's dropping now. The 2022-23 season preview brought to you by the Yellow Corner, coming to you from the beautiful Rivera on Val Hotel and Country Club in Vereeniging. Just a mere 45 minutes drive from Joburg, an absolutely stunning venue, man. There are a lot of activities to do here. I once did a cruise here, and yeah, it's a nice venue that you should experience. Eh? Raps, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you, Veron?
I'm good, man. Yeah, promote already for the new season.
Yeah, no, it's great to be back. We enjoyed the off season. We had time to relax, and as much as there were no football during the off season, but yeah, it's great to be back, and I'm looking forward to the new season.
Ash, I'm not sure if it's great to be back because as much as we enjoy this beautiful game, it comes with a lot of stress, eh?
Yeah, and I think it's part of what we chose, so we have to deal with it.
But with that said, we are one team that's always winning. So yeah, we stay stressed, but most of the time we celebrate more than anyone, eh?
Yeah, no, the great Pizzo said here at Sundowns, a trophy or trophies are guaranteed each and every season. So at least come May, we are the only team that gets to celebrate.
Definitely. No, man. Let's get right into it. This is the part one of the preview. The preview will have a part one and a part two. So we'll start with the part one, and yeah, Raps, let's get into it. Let's start with the transfers, the ins and outs. I want us to only touch on the official ones. I don't want us to touch on hearsay, like the rumor mill. We're not focusing on that. Yes, there are players that will join us that are rumored to be joining us, but I don't want us to talk about those until they are official. Let's talk about what's happened. We've signed your homeboy Sipo. We've let go of two top class professionals in Mido and Villa. Your thoughts? Are you happy with how the transfer window has transpired so far?
Look, I think with the players that we have acquired, which is Sipombul, I think he's a good player, but I think with Sandals he can reach his potential, he can improve, and he can be developed because of you look at the players that will be surrounding him. We have brilliant players and also the technical team. I think they will help him to improve this game. But if there's a player that I'm expecting him to push himself during this preseason, it is Sipombule because of remember last season he didn't play a lot of games, so I'm worried about his fitness level. But with the players that we have released, which is Sbosso Vilagazi and Mido, I think Sbo Vilagazi is a brilliant player. He contributed to the success of Mamelodi Sundowns, and also he was part of the success as well. But I think he made a right choice by going to a club where he know that he will play because of when your career is coming to an end, you want to retire as a happy player who got minutes to play. Example would be Tukum DC. He moved from Sundowns where he didn't get enough time. He went to Cape Town City and he enjoyed his football, go Cape Town, and he played a lot of games and also winning a trophy there in Cape Town City, which he didn't win, go Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, and I think Sipo will take his game up a notch or a notch or two. I think we all know that Sipo is a brilliant player. I think he was frustrated go Super Sport because there was no challenge, man. Like he could be average training Monday to Friday. He knew he'd start. So at Sundowns, he will be pushed. Uyabo. And Midole Villa, I definitely expected them to leave at the end of the previous season. Uyabo. There are players that I still think should leave at Sundowns. There's when it comes to us bringing players, I'm worried. One thing we spoke about this on Masanda Fan vlog last season when we did the season preview. Hore, the position here, River had a competition, and we lost River towards the end of the season. I believe if River was available for Game Petro, would still be in the tournament. So I'm worried. I feel like right now we are satisfying the wants and not the need. I feel like a 6 is a definite need at Sundowns. So I'm worried. Even like there's no sense of agency. Okay, we're looking to sign into a 6. We always rumored to be signing the 8 the 10, which we have plenty of. So one would hope as the before the transfer window closes, we'd rectify, with sort of that position, because I believe apart from River needing competition to help him push his game, I believe
he should have enough options.
We should have options, definitely. We should have options, because I sometimes feel like at times maybe he's played a lot because there's no one who can take his position, So how to handle any other position more promoter player another player a chance. But let's hope by the close of the window we would have signed another 6. I know that the people would want us to talk about the rumored players. I don't think we should talk about players who are rumored to be coming in. I think we should focus on the official. Yeah. Let's talk about last season a bit, perhaps. In that, I want us to discuss Tabayadi injuries. When the team came back for pre-season on day 1, Stuart McGregor, the club's biokinetics, mentioned the first thing that he said, they had a lot of injuries last season, and they want to work on that this season. And Lena Tabayadi injuries, it didn't sit well with me last season, especially towards the end of the season, whereby you need your depth. I mean, I never thought in my wildest dreams of a team like Sundowns would go to a game in a center back A1 fella benching, or even it's not center back. I can't remember game of Chiefs. There's not center back into benching and into got injured divine. So I was panicking. What happens now without into a center back? Do you think the problem with what brings these injuries is the preparation that happens during pre-season in terms of how the players train for the season, or do you think how the intensity of how we play, especially off the ball? Because on the ball we can slow it down, but off the ball we are mad dogs. We want to win the ball quickly. What do you think is the reason that these muscle injuries? Are you worried about these muscle injuries? Because now I'm really worried. Okay? The number of the quads, the hemis that we get. Because I think if we were to prepare properly, like have a proper, I'm not saying we don't have a proper preseason, but in the last 2 seasons we have had issues with these injuries. So clearly there's an issue that needs to be rectified in terms of these injuries.
Yeah, no, I think we need to sort out that problem as soon as possible. But I think the main issue here, it might be because of we are a team that is too intensive, where we are required, the team is required to run, more especially off the ball.
Hence I'm saying how you should play the way you prepare, the same way you should prepare properly so that you can play properly. Hence I'm saying maybe the issue comes in pre-season, or the technical team as a whole needs to look at, okay, in the last 2 seasons we've prepared like this and we've suffered the muscle injuries. We need to rectify something, because you can't we know off the ball, we mad dogs, we press, Rapelang, we press, we counter press, we want to win the ball ball back as quickly as possible. So you need to make sure you are as fit as possible to play like that.
Yeah, no, clearly there's a problem, but the one thing that you should come up with, I think, it is the solution. And at this moment, it's difficult to answer or to come up with the solution. So I think our doctors should be the ones that come up with the solution and help the team to reduce the period of injuries where players can recover as soon as possible.
Yeah, because I mean, the duration, yeah, the player that they sit out with these injuries, man, it's I think the last player who was making the quick recoveries was actually Villa. The injuries are serious, so now it really bothers me, Tabe, and so the injuries. But let's hope the club finds a way to rectify this, and in the new season we don't suffer the number of injuries that we suffered in the last 2 seasons. And yeah, it will be it's going to be an abnormal season, so you wonder are we planning the right way for this thing. But we should learn from experience at the past 2 seasons. Let's get into something. I'm not sure if it's controversial or not. Formation for the new season. Sundowns played a lot of different formations last season. We played a 3-4-3, we played a 4-4-2, 4-2-2-2. Yeah, you can name them. We played quite a lot of different formations last season. What's coming out of camp is clear during this pre-season. Or next season, we'll definitely be playing a different formation. It's clear. You watch inside training that the club has been dropping on their YouTube channel. There's an episode where Mweni was asking the players about how they feel about the formation. For you, which formation suits Sundowns best?
I think it is 4-3-3, but this thing of formation, I think it is influenced by the opponents that you are going to face. I think sometimes we prepare according to the strengths of the opponent and also the weakness of the opponent. But I think 4-3-3, I think it is the one that suits us the most because of it allows to play football, and an advantage is that it gives us a variety of passing angles, and we're a team that likes to make those angles, especially central. But when it comes to 4-4-2 or 4-2-4, I think the best part about that formation is that it gives you enough numbers around the box. You have the support coming from the number 10 or the second striker, or the wingers, which mostly they are inverted wingers. But I think 4-3-3, I think it is the one that suits us the most. And with the players that we have and the midfield that we have, I think a 4-3-3, it is likely to make sense for next season.
Yeah, Lena, to be honest, my favorite formation setup at Sundowns is 4-3-3, because I think it has the correct balance. I think see, 4-2-2-2, we love it. It's Smeg, it's Diamond Walk, it's all these things that you can think of. But at times our rest defense wouldn't be so perfect, and it would show. It's going forward. It's absolutely the best formation for me, and with the quality of attackers that we have, but 4-3-3, I feel like it gives us a great balance, because Sundowns, when we attack, I mean, we have the fullback star bombing up, adding numbers, so we attack in large numbers. So high midfield elite 3, maybe one Wabona joins in the attack, but you have two more staying. Like you always protected. But something tells me, Hore, we're actually going to play with three at the back from next season. Coach Gulani once tweeted something along the lines that I can't remember whether it was a statement or a question. Abuaka, the modern center back, how he needs to be skillful. Or I can't remember how he put it, man, but it was about a modern center back and Wabo. And you look at a team like Chelsea, Tuchel, they play guy three. They have Rudiger, who progresses with the ball. Like Rudiger, last season, who Chelsea, he played the most progressive passes. He played the most in the long ball. I think Lady through ball. He played the most, and he's a center back. You look at Liverpool might not play with three at the back. They play with four. There's Joel Matip who does that, who does exactly what Rudiger does. He's basically a ball playing and center back. Yeah. So I feel like we might play with a three because as well, if you listen to what Coach Gulani said, season preview on Masandawana fan blog, he mentioned they looked at what the fullbacks did last season, how high they were, the positions that they would get into, goal scoring positions that they would get into, and he said maybe who knows, they instead of pulling them 5 meters back, they might push him push them 5 meters
closer to the
box. So I mean, you look at Sundowns. Every game here Sundowns, you must check how high Mudau, his starting point is. He literally stands on the center line. Look at the corner set pieces. For the breakout, he's the one. He's I among more center line. So with that said, I think they might go with a three, because if you remember game Real AM where you played a three, the coach said the formation, the system was not intolerable, wrong. It's just how the execution. So I think we might play with a three at the back. How do you feel about that?
Look, I think it might work for us, but not instantly. I think it will take a couple of games, obviously, and also there will be school fees where we make errors here and there. But one thing that they've witnessed with PSL players, usually they press with one forward or two forward, and when you have three at the back, already it's an advantage, and you can move the ball faster. And once you bypass,
sorry to interject more, perhaps. For Sundowns, it's even four at the back because your goalkeeper is a ball playing goalkeeper.
So when you have three at the back with a team that presses with a single forward or two forward, it gives you an advantage to bypass their forward line. So once you do that, you know that you have an advantage moving forward. And also, obviously, you want to have a center back who knows how to progress with the ball, who can find a pass or break the middle field line or block with a pass. So I think first of all, before we move to the threat the back, we need to ensure that the players that we have for that system, they are going to adapt to it, and they are going to try and execute it very well.
Before we move on, I was just had a thought. How three at the back, say we want to implement something like this that's done by Chelsea and Liverpool. Like I said, Liverpool doesn't play with a three, of having a progressive mentor. Because if you look, we actually play in a way. We actually play with a three at the back, because the two center back, they split, Jali
or River
or
comes between.
yeah, and drops in, ne? And you, the perfect example, yeah, this example that I wanna talk about, okay? Game, yeah, our last game of the season, Nedbank Cup final, where Jali would get the ball and progress, wabo. So if we were to do that with a centre back, which centre back are you confident enough for it? Should be confident in taking on the players and then finding the right pass, maybe in a more advanced area of the pitch in the opponent's half, or as he gets towards their 18. Any of your centre backs that you confident to aga bolaya at pass again 18 or bamdlales ball.
I think at this moment it would be Grant. I think Grant can try and progress with the ball. And remember, Grant has played as a right back and sometimes with overlap. So he's used to progressing and moving forward. But Libusa, obviously, last season he made a couple of errors. So I don't want to put him in that pressure where he has to advance with the ball. So I think a guy like Grant Kekana should be the one that advances with the ball because of he played as a right back, so he's used to maybe crossing the line, the center line, or getting closer to the center line, and also he's comfortable on the ball and he has an eye for a pass as well.
Yeah, but like we said, guys, this is not how we're not sure. You're not even sure how Sundowns is going to play next season. We just think maybe that's probably how we will play next season with a three at the back. But now my favorite formation for Sundowns it's 4-3-3, because you look at the number of eights that we have in our team. You know, like, hey, if we dlala ka ntho ka midfield too, eh na le majita ba bangata ba tlo shebuwang ke bench mo le.
And one thing about 4-3-3, I think it is the most difficult formation to beat when you are the opponents, especially if you're not playing a 3-5-2. What I've witnessed is that when you play 3-5-2 already, on the center line you have a line of maybe 5 or 4, and the opponent is battle like 3 midfielders, and we have, let's say, example for Chelsea under Conte, they played with 3-5-2. Left wing, right wing back, it will be Aspilicueta, and left
It will be who? Aspi.
Then the left wing back, it will be Alonso. So when they are on the center line, it forces, for example, and make example that Chelsea Liverpool, it will force a Milner to stretch, go wide to the left, and it will force maybe Keita or Henderson to go to the right. And when they stretch, they leave a gap where
Fabinho
leaves Fabinho isolated, and you can overload that position and maybe create chances. But most of the PSL teams, they don't play with 3-5-2, or they don't play with a 5 in the middle field. So I think for us it might work for us because of how the opposition set up their system.
Yeah, we are in for an interesting season, man. Yeah, another thing that I want us to discuss is the over-reliance on Shalulile. Are we too reliant on Shalulile? Because in terms of getting us goals, I mean, you look at, we have the number 94, ne? You look at the stats that last season, man. Like, he's the only one who got into double figures out of the strikers that were not like our main number 9s. I mean, out of 45 games, he scored a whopping 30 goals. The second one was Safranco, 28 games, he scored 9 goals. And then Kemet played 17 games, scored 4 goals. Gift played 4 games, he scored 0 goals. These games, it not only the into the stats, it's a combination of both the stats and the into the coming on as a sub. Are you not worried though? Should Shalule be out on for a month? Do you think we can cope without him?
We can, but it will be tough. I think we can cope because of our goals also come from different departments. So we can get goals from the defense, and also from the middle field you have Tembazwan who can score, you have Boralan who can score, and Bomayema jolo jolo. But look, another thing is that it is difficult to bench Shalulile, and it is difficult for the likes of Safran Kumutupa and Erasmus to play Boma 4 games in a row because of it is difficult to okay Erasmus Sikashim and expect him to score. At least if he's given about 3 games in a row or 4 games in a row, then you can judge him. But it is difficult for them to get that opportunity where they can play 4 games in a row because of obviously Shalini is a go-to guy where he's the main guy up front. But there are certain games where he played with 2 strikers, and Shalule is the one that showed up the most. Safanko came here and there and he scored a couple of goals, but I think we can play.
ba kora mosebetsi so fedile ba se re hlabile kgomo se le fatshe mo because I mean goals tsa Safanko, if you're being honest, okay, the one that I remember NLA winner ke ya Royal AM semi-final ne tse ding I remember game ya Amazulu kene, was it Amazon or Golden Arrows ba ba jileng 16 Loftus Agor. So man, it's, but I get what you're saying in terms of it's difficult to like give them a run of games, and because hey, you have Shalile who's guaranteed to win. Shalile scores, gets us the points.
Yeah,
that's what he does. So it's difficult to say I am gonna give Rapelang a chance. Excuse me, and see how he copes when you know the pressure from the supporters to win games, the pressure from management to win games, you challenging for things. So yeah, I understand that, but yeah, it would be nice next season, man, to have strikers that are getting into double figures. One would really hope Oshadulile doesn't doesn't get injured or suffers a long-term injury.
And you'd want strikers that will win games for you, strikers that you can also rely on them and have the comfort to bench Shalini in certain games and play those strikers that will win you games of consequences. Remember, I'll make an example. Afonso, the season that he came, as much as he didn't have a good season, but he won us a cup final. So you'd want
he won us game in the Highlands Park
in the last minute. So you'd want that from the guys who are the strikers who are on the bench. When they come in, they should change the game and win games for you. And what we have seen last season is strikers coming in and scoring the 5th goal or the fourth one.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes next season. Maybe we might play with a 2 up top and another striker is given enough run to get the goals. From strikers, we're going back. Let's talk about the situation here, the goalkeeping situation. I know there are rumors of a certain goalkeeper coming to Sundowns, but I don't want us to touch on that. Like I said, we'll touch on things that are official. Who should be Sundowns' #1 goalkeeper next season? I will start. Riyad Peterson should be Sundowns' #1 goalkeeper next season. Because for now, Riyad has everything that you require from goalkeeper. Sundowns is a ball-playing team, and Riyad is very comfortable. Like, he will give you the moments where you'll panic or oh, he's taking his time now, which is, it happens with the best goalkeepers. For me, the 3 best keepers in terms of being comfortable on the ball in the world, Alisson, Ederson, Lee, and Neuer. And they give you those moments, not during the game, like what's he doing now? It's expected of a goalkeeper, and it shows how confident he is. So we can use this to our advantage. We can trap the opponents. Rabahula. We played to Riyadh. Riyadh, White Swarane. They maybe try press him, got two. He finds he breaks a pass in between them. We've taken out two opponents. Well, so because in the games that I've watched, honestly, yes, Goss didn't play much last season. I know Goss is comfortable, but because Riyadh played so much last season, and he had I'm trying to think the number of mistakes that he did, ne? But every time I saw Riyadh, he gave me confidence. Or he's ready to be the number one goalkeeper at Sundowns. And if I was the coach at club, I'm making Riyadh the number one goalkeeper next, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I don't know. For you?
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you as well. I think the couple of games that he got last season, I think he convinced us that he can be our number one goalkeeper. And an advantage about him is that he has the height and also he has the distribution. And he knows how to read the game. So you want a goalkeeper, as much as you are not effective because of most of the time you are tolerable, but once you get the ball, you should be effective and you should always be ready for a bad pass or to be involved in the certain moments of the game. This got sometimes a bad pass, you tolerate, you panic or you make a wrong decision. Where you could have passed a player and eliminated one of the forwards of the opposition, and that's what you want from a goalkeeper. And remember, we are a ball-playing team, so you should at least have a goalkeeper that can play as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Riyadh Muna, you know how the way we're such a ball-playing team, Sundowns would have a six, if maybe Jali here, and then have Riyadh there. More Palong Bosna next. Like, I don't panic or why is Riyadh moving out of goal? You know, like he moves into position, he opens up a position or so yeah.
And you look at the likes of those Brazilian goalkeepers, they are not only just good in terms of distributing the ball, but they can have assist and secondary assist.
Exactly.
They are involved in goals.
Yes.
So when you have a goalkeeper like that, it's like you have a player number 12 on the pitch. So that moving forward, I think the game
12.
player number 11. So I think moving forward, the game, it is slowly requiring a goalkeeper that can play and that can have contribute to the goals.
I don't want to make this as an example, but I have to. CAF Champions League, Knight sat down. Dennis got the ball. I don't think, I'm not saying if it was Riyadh would have scored, but I think Riyadh would have found a better pass. Riyadh comes from the schools, that German goalkeeper, right? Do there something achieves well. So, yeah. Rabs, let's move to the Champions League. Mental health, not mental health, man. Mental preparation, yeah, the games. I honestly feel like the reason we have struggled in the Champions League, yes, you need luck in the Champions League. Yes, you need to play well. But I feel like we have good players. We have great technical team. We are a superb team. We play well, like Oka Bechaka Sundowns. But I think this failure to win the Champions League for Nane, it's more a psychological than anything. Honestly, right now I believe that's the case. I mean, you look at, excuse me, in 2021 when Al knocked us out, we played so well away. We came here, we didn't win. We didn't get the needed result. And I was watching Game in I said to them, I feel like because we had gone to get that day where there was controversy with everything, we had gone to welcome the team, and I said to them, I felt like we believed more as the supporters who would progress than the players. Yeah. I felt the players lacked self-belief. We can overturn this and Toyabo. you look at game Pedro, we should never have lost to Pedro, man. We should never have. I don't even think we played well in that game, not to be honest, in the second leg Pedro. I feel like our players were very anxious. I honestly believe our players were very anxious. You look at the tackle Jali makes. Jali, he's an experienced player. Jali knows there's no need. I mean, Gaida Mutole, you shut Engele for Yena, Umromela Kona Flege Mole Wabo. So I feel like it's time. I don't know about you. The way the teams, the investor into technology, into medics right now. I mean, I support Liverpool, and I know Klopp looks for the smallest advantage to win. I mean, he gets if Rapelang and Thabiso got this, and it will improve his team. He brings you in. I feel like maybe it has reached a level whereby maybe it's time we hire a full-time sports psychologist to work on our players. I mean, it's easy for them in South Africa to win the league and all that, but once the Champions League, because I can tell you now, there's a lot of pressure coming from us supporter with this Champions League thing in terms of the hashtag this one label Champions League or nothing. There's a lot of pressure coming from the players keep getting reminded of the class of 2016 won this, so you guys are big earners, you guys you have everything at Sundowns, you have top coaching and everything. Why don't you win the Champions League? So I feel like maybe it's time we have a full-time psychologist working with our players at Sundowns. What's your opinion on
that? Look, I think in CAF Champions League, I think you have to develop your own culture. I think to be a strong side in the CAF Champions League. I think the North Africans have their own culture. I think it could be arriving early at the stadium and intimidating the opponents, and also being dirty, wasting time. I think those things they might not look good on the eye, but they work for them. So I think for us, I think it's about time we found our own culture that will help us to win such games. I think it can happen off the pitch and on the pitch as well. But to be specific, which culture we need to come up with, I don't know. But I think something needs to be done.
Yeah, something needs to be done. Something has to give, man. We want this thing so badly, man.
We want Rabat to win a Champions League, but I think we are too desperate, man. Sometimes to like he gets a lower, but I think sometimes desperate too much. Hence, after the knockout staging, flop a color.
Let's wrap part one up, perhaps. Let's talk about the team that we think will push us next season.
Definitely, I think they might not push us, but I think they will be the second best team in the league. I think it will be Kaizer Chiefs. I think they've signed, they've made Atazwane the head coach. I think, which is a brilliant move. They've signed a couple of players that might help the players that they already have. I think the only player they needed assistance from other players. I think with the players that they've signed, I think they might play together as a team and they'd improve. But I don't think Perez will.
Yeah.
Because first of all, they've signed players, they've signed a coach, but you know what happened behind the scene. You ask yourself, will the coach have total control of the team? He comes from Spain, and Spain, they are managers, whereby he's in control of everything, but
not a structure.
Yeah, there's elders in that team. So I think Kaizer Chiefs, they might be the second best team. And also, the advantage about Mamelodi Sundowns is that we are improving, or we are aiding based on what we have. But both Chiefs, both Paris, they are almost rebuilding. So it will take them time to get to the Mamelodi Sundowns. And when they rebuild, they are a step ahead. So it will be difficult for them to catch up.
Yeah, I also think the team from the south of Joburg will definitely give us a challenge. I think we'll win the majority of the trophies. I think we'll win the league as well. But I think they are the one team that will give us a bit of a hard time. Cape Town City, yeah, Lebona Baka Zama, but I don't think they have enough depth to push us resources. Well, yeah, I think Chiefs will push us next season, and yeah. Masanda, that's part one of the preview done. There will be a part two that will follow this. Yeah, we're coming from the beautiful Rivera on Val Hotel and Country Club here in Vereeniging, man. It's a pity it's gloomy outside. We actually wanted to record outside, but it's really gloomy. It's a gloomy Wednesday. You would have seen the boat cruises. You'd have seen the beautiful river, the Val River, just behind us, man. I'm not sure if you can see it when I'm out of picture, but yeah, it's a very beautiful venue. Rapelang said the next time he comes here, he'll come here to get married. I don't know to who because he doesn't have a girlfriend. Yeah, yeah, guys. Cheers. No, not cheers. See you on part two. Sharp, sharp.